Mark out moment of the year. This is honestly my favorite W category because this is where I could just, like, these are those moments in the year where you just go crazy, you just go wild, jumping up and down with excitement, or in one of these nominees' case, just shock and bewilderment. So here we go. Let's discuss mark out moment of 2014. First up, we have Daniel Bryan winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, this was a mark out moment from the ultimate book of mark out moments. I mean, you talk about a guy, fans scratch and claw, and for him to go into WrestleMania and beat Triple H and then win the title the same night, just the way they booked it and, you know, the whole journey. And, you know, I remember them showing that video package of him from his beginning, walking out there in the Nike sweatpants and the sneakers, being the American Dragon and having, like, you know, and this guy is the guy who's, you know, fighting to be successful. And it was like, you know, it all just came together, and a guy I followed forever, and it was just like, how do you not mark out for that?
Yeah, this was an amazing moment. Like, everything that led up to this moment, great feud, great moments, and just to see Danny Bryan, after all of that adversity, like you said, we followed him on that journey in WWE with them constantly calling him a B-plus player, for him to defeat the person that called him a B-plus player, proving that, hey, if I'm a B-plus player and I just kicked your ass, what the hell does that make you? So I'm not going to say Triple H is anything less than a B+. So Triple H is like A+. So I guess that means Danny Bryan is A++. But I'm getting off topic a little bit. That match at WrestleMania with him winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, that moment, it is one of the most memorable moments of this generation in WWE. And, you know, that's outside of the year 2014. So it's definitely a contender for mark out moment of the year.
I like how you threw in that Triple H gush session. That was, you know.
Next, we still have more to come. So just sit tight. Next mark out moment nominee, Brock Lesnar ending the streak at WrestleMania 30. This is what I was talking about. This is a different kind of mark out moment, because this was like, what?
I thought you were talking about one of the other ones. So, you know, all right, we'll get there. You know, you not being able to leave the memories alone. I figured that was the one that you were speaking of. But, you know, this was... There's, you know, a nice little spot on my wall over there. I remember punching and throwing that, and I was pretty pissed. So I guess you can call that marking out. But, yeah, you know, this is like, you don't even accept the award for this. You just kind of like, it's like, you know, this is like the Relive Your Misery nominee.
I don't think we have an award named Relive Your Misery, so it had to fit in some category. So I'm going with this one. This was a complete... I've never marked out more for anything in the entire history of wrestling than I did with this one. I was fuming mad when I saw that the streak ended to Brock Lesnar after the feud that we got from these two leading into WrestleMania 30. But, as you all know, my opinion has completely changed. So I've gone from one end of the spectrum of marking out, just being completely pissed the hell off, to the other end of the spectrum, thinking that this was an amazing, oh my God, an amazing moment. So,
it's actually nominated for something else too. We'll get there.
Well, technically, I'm nominated for something else, but yeah, I can't believe y'all forced me to do that. But and you know it's all your fucking fault too. But
I did a great job with that.
It better not win. I'm just saying. But yeah, this was amazing. So, yeah, that definitely was a mark-out moment. That may be a mark-out moment that you're not willing to vote for, seeing as how pissed off you were. That goes for Charlie and everyone else, but you marked out.
And my apologies to Justin. He knows why, and we'll end it there.
Oh, Lord. Another mark-out moment of the year nominee, Sting debuting in WWE at Survivor Series.
I won't necessarily marked out for this. This was cool, but I remember when he came out, I kind of said, why isn't Randy Orton making a run-in?
It was just a wrong place, wrong time for Sting.
Yeah, it was cool to see, but, you know, excuse me, sir, we had a feud going on here. Could you please step to the side? Speaking of which, where the fuck is Randy Orton anyway?
Yeah, where apparently he appeared after Raw off TV, but yeah, damn, that curb stomp. Another reason why Seth Rollins, Superstar of the Year. Vicious. People are going to be like, y'all are just shitting all over Sting. No, but this wasn't a mark out moment for me really either. It was kind of like, holy shit, it's finally Sting in WWE, but this was like a relief moment of the year for me because I finally get to stop hearing those, when is Sting coming to WWE questions. So.
Now, if only they would answer the question of who the fuck was driving that damn limo. We got
NXT limo driver.
They've given the friggin' anonymous GM. We've got Sting. We just need that fucking limo driver.
I guess the anonymous GM is back to being anonymous, though.
Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe somebody ate Hornswoggle, and so therefore he's kind of still sort of the GM, but he's like inside some. I don't know. That's a story to run. Mark Henry needs a storyline.
Moving right along, the next mark-out moments of the year nominee, Brock Lesnar beating the holy hell out of John Cena at SummerSlam. Now this, it's going to be tough for us to go with anything other than this one, seeing as we were in the damn arena watching it happen.
You can see me jump a mile in the air when he hits that F5 on the front.
You want to talk about mark-out moments. Shit, it's one thing doing it at home watching on TV, but to actually be there live in attendance is like, man. And did you even expect for that to happen?
No, I said to you during the friggin' match, Cena's gonna win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you went, yeah, no.
Because it's like the thing, you're getting your ass whooped, and I mean, it's John Cena. Like, you know he's gonna have that swing of momentum towards the end, and he's just gonna stand up triumphantly, but no.
And that fucking guy that loved Cena that was sitting there so upset, 2 rows ahead of us, the one we met in the elevator, that when we were all chanting na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye, and he's stop, and it was the Cena fans, like the ones sitting next to me, and I was like,
Let's go Cena.
Yeah, you can't even do it right. You can't even get in the chant. You're just kind of yelling it, and the disappointment there, and just the disappointment around the arena was just, awesome. And
that one moment, man, that was one of my best memories out of all of the wrestling shows that I've gone.
And it's funny because deep down, John, WWE wishes that it had the same reaction as the Undertaker one, but nah, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
I was going nuts for this. Definite contender for mark out moment of the year. Definitely something that I think a lot of us really enjoyed. Just getting the chance to kind of shake up the status quo. I think that was one of the better things about it, that you didn't see the standard operating procedure, and it was such a they went so far off the beaten path that it was just amazing to watch. So definitely something that was just amazing. Just great stuff.
And the final nominee for mark-out moment of the year, Seth Rollins turning on the Shield and aligning with the Authority.
This was amazing because there was no way you saw it coming. I understand Brock Lesnar entered the streak, we didn't see that coming at all either, but that had kind of a different level to it, that it was the streak. Who the fuck's going to beat the streak? And they didn't necessarily build up to it at all, and things like that. And this, not that they built to this, but this was one of those amazing, I guess in a match there's always the possibility that they would shake up the match a little bit and book a match a certain way and book a finish. But when they did this, it was just what? They just come off this huge win, and it seemed like we're moving forward, and they're the centerpiece of the company, and then boom, everything changes, and it sent shockwaves throughout the entire roster, and everything went this way, that way, and this way, and it was just it was an amazing thing, and them to do it and have the guts to do it after they had really pushed these guys so heavily and they were so over was amazing, and just them. It was one of their times where they just went outside the box and they really got, they really booked with a little bit of, got a little ballsy, and it worked, and it was awesome.
Yes, this definitely was a ballsy move from WWE, and we can still feel the effects of that moment with Seth Rollins turning on the Shield right now. Like we were just talking about on this very episode of PWTR, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns on this past episode of Monday Night Raw. So we're still feeling that now, and that's another moment that I'll never forget because Charlie was talking about earlier, leave the memories alone. I am a diehard Shield mark. Going back to last year's Dubby voting, I voted them as Superstar of the Year. I voted that unit as Superstar of the Year because they were the most entertaining thing out of wrestling, period, for me that year. And to see that all crumble, it was a shock. And hell, I went nuts at that moment. So that's definitely a contender for mark out moment of the year. But now,
their DVD's coming out in February. DVD Blu-ray coming out in February.
Yes, and I definitely will be picking that up.
And I know they'll be on the network, but I want the match section too. They're gonna have some extra stuff in there, and I'll actually be making a Blu-ray purchase. Interesting.
So let's put the contenders aside and discuss who or what wins mark-out moment of the year. Who's your vote?
It's funny. I say leave the memories alone, but I'll have to go with Seth Rollins breaking up the Shield. I think more so than anything else, this really, the stuff, Brock Lesnar stuff, it shook things up and it really changed things, but you didn't really send just shockwaves down the whole product on a week-to-week basis. Beating the Undertaker was an amazing thing, but it wasn't like Undertaker was showing up the next week. It wasn't like Undertaker was, still a prominent piece of the roster. He was kind of the WrestleMania guy, and I think that when you did this, it like totally flipped the whole product and the whole creative direction. Just did a complete 180, and there was no way you could watch any WWE event again and not see this change that completely like switched the whole deal around. Whereas I think other stuff you could watch events and you could see that didn't necessarily have a week-to-week effect, and this had a week-to-week, month-to-month, and maybe even year-to-year effect on this company.
I'm actually going to go a different route than you did with choosing your pick. I'm just going to look at the moment itself. And when I look at the moment itself, nothing shocked me more or made me mark out more than The Undertaker losing at WrestleMania 30. Brock Lesnar conquering the streak. So that's going to be my vote for mark out moment of the year.